this is Eden back with another video. I just very quickly wanted to explain um, whether any kind of chemical in your conditioner, in your shampoo, in your curl refresher, whatever it is you're making, if that is necessarily bad. A lot of times we'll see a chemical name, and just because I don't know what it is, or you don't know what it is, or we don't understand what behentramonium methosulfate actually is, it doesn't necessarily mean because it has that kind of a name that it is bad. That's why there are a lot of things with chemical sounding names that have been approved by very stringent certifying boards for personal care, like EcoCert, or even the USDA organic label, because they are actually benign. And I'll give you an example, and I give this example a lot, so if you've had a free call with me, forgive me for using it again. But soap. Okay, soap is basically made from some kind of alkali, usually potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide, which we know is super toxic. I mean, like, that's perm level of toxicity, right? So potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, mixed with some kind of vegetable fat usually. You can also use animal fat, but I'm not even going to go there. But alkali, vegetable fat oil, water, and then all of that is mixed together with heat as the catalyst, and then is converted by that process to soap and water. So just basic soap. Okay, and we all know and think of soap as something that's very, very benign, and it is a completely gentle thing. And all the sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide is usually used for solid soap bars, and then the potassium hydroxide is used for making liquid soaps like Castille, like liquid Castille soap and such stuff like that. All of that hydroxide, all of the alkali is actually used up in the reaction. So all that is left, the byproduct of that reaction, is your soap and water. And you know, soap that's made this way contains glycerin usually. And so the really nice soap bars will leave the glycerin in there. But if you're gonna go super chemical, people will extract the glycerin from the soap and just have soap, glycerin, and water, and then sell the glycerin as a byproduct. Okay, so all of these are really benign byproducts, and we use them. Even natural people use them, like, oh, this is a great soap, handmade with these vegetable oils, la la la. But it's a completely chemical process that made that soap. So there are a lot of cosmetic chemicals that come from similar processes, such as this, you know, that are derived from natural ingredients, then they're chemically altered, and the resulting product is actually quite gentle, quite benign, like even gentle enough for babies. So it's important to sort of start looking at these ingredients and reading up on them and checking them out on the skin deep scale, so you understand what they are, so that you're not so stuck on making a natural product that you miss out on enhancing your customer's experience by adding, you know, ingredients that could, you know, enhance the cosmetic experience for them in their hair care or their skin care. Behentramonium methosulfate is a very gentle conditioning agent, and it's a great detangler. It's mild, it's suitable for babies. You know, it does the conditioning aspect of the hair, so we could be missing out on all kinds of natural products that contain this. You know, it's very suitable for, you know, black natural hair, if people were just too afraid to make anything with it because it sounds chemical. So just to be aware of that, I just want you guys to be aware of that. I'm not encouraging you to use sulfates and whatnot, you know, but if you're wanting to make a shampoo, you can look at some of these surfactants that are made in that same way that I described soap being made, you know, to find the ones that are natural, that are sulfate free, that are really super gentle, and look at those to include in your shampoo, because, you know, they're much gentler on the hair than Castille soap, which has, you know, a pH that really needs to be adjusted. You know, if you've ever washed your hair with Castille soap long term, you'll know what I mean. So just something to think about, okay? So I'll see you in the next video where I'm going to be talking about what kind of things you could include in a DIY kit for those of you who want to make pristine products that are not just whipped butters and oils. All right, see you in the next video.